Welcome to Season 2 of Go Wildly podcast. We are Emily and Heather, two childhood friends who carry a mic into wild places like rivers, trails, and forests, with wild people to host raw, honest conversations about adventure, healing, identity, and the transformative power of nature. In this season, we're centering the voices of people who call Southern Oregon home. Outdoor enthusiasts and outdoor professionals whose lives have been shaped, changed, or are continually influenced by time outside. Come along as together we go wildly.
Oh. Hello.
Hey, it's so nice to see you.
Hi.
Happy 2026.
Oh my god. I gotta get back.
Oh, you got some shit in your teeth. Can I get it?
Yeah.
It's like on your upper gum.
Don't touch my gums. That's gross.
There's a little piece of olive. Now it's actually on your tooth. You know, but it's on the side. They're not going to be able to see it. Only I can see it.
Is it gonna bug you?
No, I just won't look at you. I could never not look at you. Mostly.
Like I feel it on my tongue.
Okay. Now it's okay.
Get it.
It's now like tucked into your bottom lip.
What?
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
It's moving around. Better.
Is it upper or lower?
Lower. I mean, real friends.
Hold on.
I'll help you floss afterwards.
Oh gosh. Oh god. Oh my god. I just ate some olive schmear.
It was pretty good though, wasn't it?
It was really good. And right there, I got it everywhere.
I know.
Oh my god. I literally have so much.
You have so much olive in your teeth.
Damn, dude.
We could have flossed beforehand, but
It's okay.
it's fine. It's not going to be like all that visible, and if it is, whatever.
It won't be.
Yeah.
Just to you. You're gonna be looking at my mouth the whole time, like.
You got nothing there.
Oh my god, that's funny. Oh, what the fuck?
Will you silence that?
Yes.
Thank you.
Did you hear me say what the fuck? I was saying what the fuck because I thought I did.
Oh, I thought it was just in reaction to it making noise. Well, I guess that it is. Both.
Yeah. Okay. All right, we gotta hurry.
Okay.
Hello,
Hi.
Wildly Wonders. Welcome in to episode 1 of season 2. That's what we're officially calling it because we know we kind of took a little
We took a little hibernation.
mode.
Mm-hmm.
Emily was in a different country for how many weeks?
6.5.
6.5 weeks. So that was why. But anyways, if you're new here, I'm Heather.
I'm Emily.
And
we are
Go
Wildly.
Ooh, that was a little rough. We're rusty. We're so rusty. Okay, so yes, so we are. Take it from here. Emily.
Okay. Yeah. That's right. I'm Emily. This is Heather, and this is our second season of Go Wildly. If you are new to Go Wildly, we are us, and we're wild, and we live in a wild place. We've been friends since middle school, and though our lives took different channels over the many years, we reconvened, we converged a couple years ago to create this storytelling podcast to highlight the beautiful, life-changing stories.
Fucking Jimmy, dude. Okay.
Let me make sure it's still,
Jimmy
still
just
angled right.
walked on
just
our
walked.
tripod and it
But
made
he's
you
good.
go crazy.
He's good.
Jimmy, go lay down.
He won't. He will eventually, but he's
Anywho.
good. He's good. We're good. We love
We're
you.
good. You're good. Heather's just.
Can you lay down right here? Sit. Not on my lap. You're not lapping right now. Sit.
Anyways, and
Should we start over?
Do you want to?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was really a nice organic start.
Okay.
I truly.
Okay.
I thought
Great.
it was good.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna take it from there. Us reconvening a couple years ago to start this project. I feel like we have just connected. It was like we weren't even on different channels. It's such a weird feeling. I know I'm kind of going a little off on a tangent really quick here, but just like
Get used to it.
Yeah. Me and Emily's friendship, like while we spent like a solid 15 years kind of doing our own thing, but like still being connected because we both live in a small town, and like social media these days, it's really hard to like not see what anybody's up to. So you see what people are
if you're sharing.
But like what we've grown over the past 2 years, when we reconnected, I'm like, we didn't skip a beat.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, did we really spend 15 years of like distant friends?
Mm-hmm.
Like crazy.
Yeah, it was like just the right time in our lives to come back together and collide.
And have like a really deep, good friendship from that.
With
I
like,
don't know, it's really cool.
with a history, but also like there are so many times that we've hung out over the last couple of years that you've brought up a memory from our youth that I don't remember, or I've brought up one from our youth that you don't remember. And so while we have a shared history, we also have lots of fragmented memories of our time together. And now we're just creating all these new memories with each other and building new bonds and new memories with people that are either familiar to just one of us or new to both of us.
Right. I don't know.
It's been really cool.
It's been this whole project has been really great. So we welcome here. It's a really fun ride here, what we got going on, and we hope you enjoy. And do you want to say anything else before we got some bullet points hit today?
Yeah. For those of you who may be new to Go Wildly, one of our new Wildly Wanderers, we only do in-person outdoor recording. One of our values is highlighting the beauty of nature, and since we are here telling outdoor stories, it just makes the most sense that we are in the outdoors telling these stories. When we thought about starting a podcast initially, we thought about being in a studio, and both of us realized that we cannot be contained to a studio. Neither of us can sit inside looking at a screen for that long.
Well, and it's just like the conversations you get into when you're on the river or hiking or just
sitting
like
around a campfire.
Those are the best, like cracking into somebody. Also like the best like bonding moments with people to like loop back around. Maybe that's why we've had such a good, deep, quick reconnection. It's like the outdoors does something to you. We gotta be in it.
Yeah, it really cool. Grounds you, it roots you, it connects you back to your innate self and to nature, and when we're telling stories about being outside that changed somebody's life, we can't do that inside.
You can't do that. You can't feel it. We want you to be able to feel it.
We want you to feel it, hear it, and see it.
So what's
all of your senses are being engaged.
Yes, our podcast elevator pitch is: this is a podcast in the wild, for the wild, about the moments spent in the wild. And we interview people of this region, and we'll crack more into a little tidbit of that we're the evolution of the podcast here in a little bit. But that's this podcast. We're telling everybody's most pivotal moment outside that they've had outside, what's changed them while like camping or hiking or fishing or hunting even, or
climbing trees.
Or what else has it been? Clearing trail.
Playing sports even.
Yep, playing sports. We've had a lot of that. Rafting. Near-death experiences,
wilderness therapy,
just like all of it, and how the outdoors did something. Like it just really, that story that changed them.
I found a lot of the stories that we had in last season, and I think that it will continue to be true as we go on, but a theme that really stood out to me in last season was how often there was a young person, like aged 4 to 7, who was looking for freedom or a sense of belonging in their life,
or
and
independence,
freedom, and found it outside. Found it either within themselves outside, or found community outside, or found it with an outdoor component, with a tree or with a water source or with an animal outside. And
that, I think that moment that we've heard that a ton of times. And then there's like this little invisible string theory that has led them into what they do as almost like a career or an obsession, hobby in their adult life. And that's kind of what we're here to expose, that like thread from like outdoor moments in childhood that stemmed into like what they do now. And their like purpose and pillars in their lives now.
How quickly and how young it came to them, and how they've really fulfilled like
the childhood
dream. Yeah. It's so cool.
Love that. That was a strung out elevator pitch, but that is what it's all about here, and that's what we're here to share.
Yeah, we are also, a thing to know about us is that we are essentially unedited. Not only our language and our conversation, we are not in a studio cutting and pasting what's being said, and really because, like I said, we want to spend as little time sitting in front of a computer as possible. We shoot our episodes in one take, and it's unless the battery dies or we say something like really private or like specifically
which we're going to try
private
not to do this season, because we found that there was a lot of trying to find the needle in the haystack in editing.
Yeah.
And it sometimes gets forgotten about.
Yep.
So we don't want to. Anyway.
So these are like one take recordings.
Unscripted.
We're completely unscripted. We have a guide. We follow a structure, but really what is happening here live is what you are going to be watching and listening. And
yes,
that's the birds in the background and the boats floating by and whatever comes up between us and whoever we have. So we will occasionally do episodes that are just us, where we'll kind of recap and touch base and just talk about Heather and I. But the majority of our episodes will feature another guest telling their story.
Right. And then we have, so in this episode today, this is episode 1 of season 2, but it's just going to be in line, so it'll be where are we at, episode like 16 or something
like that.
16 anyway. I don't quote me on that. I don't know, but it'll be in line because that's what algorithm likes. But this is technically episode 1 of our new season, and so in today's episode we're really kind of recapping what happened last year, doing some reminiscing on some episodes here and there and stuff, and then what we did in the off season, because Emily was gone.
And Heather made huge career advancements.
I did, thank God. And then we'll talk about the season 2 and upcoming stuffs we have planned, and then we'll just do a nice little like goodbyes.
Yeah,
little toodaloo. Okay, so let's talk about last season.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, it was such a learning curve.
Yeah,
lots and lots of editing,
and then also like kind of a rejection of the editing. That I think was our biggest lesson, was we don't want to spend time editing, cutting and pasting, recreating what was happening live. And
it was a lot of
the very first recording that we went out and did, we were out recording for like 4 or 5 hours, and it turned into a 2-episode production and took up our whole day with one person. It was fun. We went on a great hike. We had amazing conversation, but it is not sustainable for the long-term productivity of our sanity and of the producing of this podcast.
And I think just like any good show, even on TV, it's like you have a pilot episode to kind of like work out the kinks, get better at acting.
Sometimes you have a whole pilot season.
A whole, well, that would be the pilot season. So even though there's some such great nuggets, we learned so much, and what works and what doesn't work. And
it wasn't, I think, until our 3rd recording session that we actually came up with the structure that we wanted to follow. And so each time that we've gone out on a recording session, we've refined our craft, we've refined our structure so much more, and that's part of what makes us really excited for the evolution coming into 2026. But really, it was just so much fun. It was so much fun to learn, and so much fun to like kind of meet people that we already knew.
But in a different light. It was like in a different space, We're really trying to work out how we speak to. Emily's already really good at that. I feel like I was honing that in and stuff. Still, I always am.
Yeah,
that's always.
We're always a work in progress.
But yeah, it was just so much I want to say too that like we kept having epiphanies along the way. Like episode 3, we had like epiphany driving out to our location where we're like, this is what the podcast needs to be. And we have followed the signs, so to speak. Like if somebody was driving down a dirt road and you're just driving, or you're hiking down a dirt road or trail, it's like you're taking the signs, you're taking those signs from God, and like just
following
like,
our intuition and what sparks, and asking questions of the spirit world, and saying
non-denominational.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked in a couple episodes about the influence of my dearly departed deceased father and how he has guided this process.
He was a guide in his life, and he's a guide to us now in this podcast and Emily's world indefinitely.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Infinity.
Yeah. He is eternal, even though his physical presence.
Anyway,
is
so
gone.
we've been really taking signs from Gab and listening to him. When he says turn, we've been turning.
And when he says you're doing the right thing, we keep doing that right thing.
Yeah, and we really did that from from all season. I felt like there was a little progressions of sign turning each one. Do you have a core episode that you're just super proud of and love so much of last year?
I was going to ask you that too.
Really?
Yeah. Because when I tell people about the podcast who don't know me,
listen to this one,
which I was doing while I was in Europe for 6.5 weeks, and they would say, which one's your favorite? You know, it is really hard to choose. Like, it's like I would assume choosing who your favorite child is, because every episode is like this little love baby that we've made. But I think that my favorite, or my most, like, the one that I think I feel the most proud of is Miguel's episode, the wildland firefighter, because I was gently coaxing him into agreeing to do an episode for a while, and when he finally agreed to it, I just felt like he bloomed. Like, watching him just blossom in the space and in his story, and in the feedback that I heard from his family about it, about how they were awakened to the reality of him that they weren't aware of, and how much it grew the depth of their love for him. And I just thought it was so special that he was resistant, and he was wary, and he was nervous, and he kind of felt like he didn't have a story to tell.
Oh, he had such a story.
And then out comes this, like,
shout out Miguel,
tear-jerking, profound, beautiful, transformative story. And I'm so proud of him, and I'm so proud of that we got to facilitate that, and like the container that we have to be able to bring this out of people. And I think that is something that there's so many special things about this podcast and about what we get to do, but that is probably the top 3 things that I'm most proud of that we get to do, is find people who don't think that they have a story, and then find that they have the best
and
fucking story.
That they do.
Yeah. What about you?
I think Biddy's episode really hit me.
Yeah.
Probably because it is the first one, but it was, I don't know, I just felt like it was a really well-rounded episode. Even though it was the first one, we're on the good path.
Well, it was the first one that we released, but it was the first one that we followed our newly found structure. It was on the way to that episode that we came up with our, this is how we want to structure the pod. And so we told her, okay, this is what we're going to try today. And it was,
worked.
The
she
first.
Did great. I just felt like it was really, like, we were all vibing with each other too. So it was a really good one. I also really liked Hunter's episode.
Yeah, that
really,
was fun.
It was good. It was a good episode.
It was so fun to reconnect, again, reconnect with somebody that we knew, but also really didn't know. Like, we have some kind of shared history with, but all pretty superficial, and then we got to meet him in who he is now.
That was cool.
It was so cool.
Yeah, that was a really cool episode. I just love the like trail stories too. I'm just like a big like, ooh, that's like really neat. It's a really neat thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, those are some.
I love it. Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, it really is just so hard to choose. I could go through every episode and be like, this one was so cool for this reason.
Yes,
and
this one was because of this.
I mean, like,
Gabe's episode.
Gabe's episode was so cool. It was so rich with like value and knowledge and just realism. And I loved Paris's episode because of the variety of emotional experiences and the reflections that I saw her having, and the movement that we had, the floating on the boat. And
was that our first boat episode? We had floated with Kate, but I forgot the cord. So
I think that might have been our first floating episode. Because we actually recorded with Kate afterwards. And I loved Kate's episode because she was also somebody that lives a pretty private life and doesn't really share her life story very often, if at all. And so it's such an honor for her to agree to do this and to share her story, and for it to be so unique and wild and like traumatizing, but also she's such a resilient, strong person who has built this incredible creative life.
Yeah, and it was a little like off the beaten path too. Like it was totally like with her art and stuff, it was taking a whole new like, I don't know, like subject turn for us. You know, like we had been talking to people that like mostly about the outdoors, and while hers is very much rooted in the outdoors, her art took it just the art path, you know, and like she got to talk about how she became an artist, and then her like TV show she was in, and like
and being in a bad kid school.
That was cool. Oh my god. Yeah, that was it was just so.
And we had snacks on that episode.
Oh, we did. We had some river charcuterie.
Yeah.
Love us some river charcuterie. Yum, yum, yum. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
really, like, every episode has been so unique.
Its own baby. Its own little baby, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. There's been similar threads and similar structure, but every single one has been so unique and special.
Yeah, I also think just like recording this podcast in general has really helped blossom my like curious gene, and like, you know, really like hone in my questions and answer receiving, and how to like carry on, like get more deeper information about something, and really like ask those right questions, and like exercise that muscle, because it's a total muscle to carry a conversation on.
And if you
like,
don't practice, you don't get better.
Yeah, you got to practice.
Yeah,
for sure.
That was. I was at did you see that little yoga video that I shared that I was in? The caption of it was, if you don't practice, you don't get better.
Yeah, you don't. And that's why we're continuing, and it's going to be season 2. It's going to be great. Yeah. Let's recap on your, just quickly, because I'm running out of time.
Yeah. But, what were we doing in the off season?
Well, Emily had a big trip that she had hopes to do some recording, but ended up just being a
I had
more
like
healing
soft
journey.
hopes, and I was prepared with the equipment to be able to do some recording.
We even filmed an episode that would feature her in, but we ended up it'll be a bonus type of
maybe
maybe
we'll steal some sound bites out of it. But we did like a me traveling little recording that
never came to fruition.
Yeah,
but that's what happens. That's literally the name of the game here.
Yeah, we've recorded more than what we've produced, because some things just don't make it to copy.
Yeah. I do really like the structure too. Just to recap on how we ended up taking like an organic break. I think it was very needed, and I know that we've said that we're gonna the episode will drop every blah blah blah, or every whenever, but like we really kind of like it petered off and stuff, and then we were just like, let's take a break. That's what was needed, because it's hard to bank up episodes, and we also live wildly lives.
Yeah.
And that just is what it is. So.
And part of what makes this podcast sustainable for us is that we aren't putting pressure on ourselves to produce something based on somebody else's expectations of it.
Yeah.
We're doing this for you and for our guests, but really we do it for us in a way that feels good to us and our energy and our timeline and all the other competitive priorities that exist in our lives. And we know that if we were to get to a point where we were feeling like pressured, we would burn out so fast, and we don't want that to happen. So we have to give ourselves grace and treat ourselves and this baby product with love and respect and tenderness so that we can keep doing it.
Yeah.
So
sorry to kind of tangent off on that, but how was Europe?
it was really good. I went with a one-way ticket. I had 4 weeks kind of planned out. Originally, the idea was that I was going to go with a friend who wanted to go to Europe after she graduated college, and she wanted to go on a European adventure to celebrate being done with school. And so she invited me, and I was an absolute yes. And so I started to put some feelers out on how I would get there and what I would do. And she didn't really have a specific date or time, just that it was going to be in the fall. And my best friend from childhood, we've been friends since we were 2 years old. She moved to Portugal several years ago, and she gave me
known her for a long time.
Yeah, we went to middle school, high school together, but we grew up like 4 doors away from each other as little tiny children. And so she moved to Portugal a few years ago, and she gave me a pretty open-ended, like open invitation to come visit anytime. And so I saw my opportunity to do that. And then
I'm really glad you did. She's
Me too.
She's so cool.
She's so cool. I would have loved to feature her in an episode, and I have the utmost respect for her and her lifestyle that she chose not to. She does not want her life on YouTube or on the internet. She doesn't want it promoted or projected, and I so wholeheartedly respect her for that, because if I lived her life, I wouldn't want it on the internet too, because it is so cool and unique. And I'm so proud of her and inspired by her, and she's just fucking rad.
Will she be listening to this?
I hope so.
Shout out Jade.
She does subscribe on YouTube.
Oh,
so,
cool.
Hopefully.
One day I'll make it over to say hello.
So that was kind of my like jumping off point was, okay, I'm going to go visit her. I know that. And then I was invited to go on a cruise out of Barcelona and do Barcelona, the Canary Islands, Morocco. And I'd never done a cruise before, but the opportunity presented itself, and I couldn't say no with episode 2, Rihanna.
That was such a good episode.
That was such a good episode. I know, so freaking cool and
I want to have her back.
Me too. Yeah, like we said in that episode, like we could do a whole season just of her life.
And the hike was so epic. I was like, oh my god, I have to be back here like every day. Like I was trying to live on that fucking view.
Excuse me. Burp one. Every part of that episode was so inspiring and cool. So go watch all of our episodes, obviously.
Yeah, it's so good.
Rihanna and 2 of her aunts invited me on this cruise, and that had a specific start and end date. So then I started to build my trip around that, and I decided, okay, I'm going to go visit Jade in Portugal for 2 weeks before the cruise, and then I'll do 12 days on the cruise, and then I was open-ended after that. And I spent the first 2 weeks up in northern Portugal in a little tiny village, pretty much by myself, walking around in the forest and cooking food and sitting by a wood stove. And while I did have like an idea that I would look for people to record a podcast with in this little village I was in, I saw maybe like 7 people in a day, and really nobody spoke English. And so I became pretty quickly recognized that that wasn't what the energy of the trip was. I was meant to be there by myself, in quiet, in reflection, and really to have the first opportunity in like 3, 5, 10, 12 years of actual solitude with myself to process and integrate all of the trauma and lessons that I've been experiencing over the last few years, and like actually give myself space to cry and feel and release a lot of shit that I've been carrying and that I've talked about, I've like openly talked about in lots of spaces, but haven't actually just been able to sit and
It needed something
feel.
else. It needed an extra layer of just like removing from the box so you could process and wrap that box differently.
Yeah. And do it for me. Like so much of the telling of the story of it, I'm telling a story to and for somebody else. But for me to actually just sit and be like, whoa, what was that like for me? What am I still holding on to?
Yes.
What are all the thoughts that still are spiraling in my head around this, that, and the other thing? And I did very intentional journaling and guided breath work and quiet, intuitive walking in the forest, and really got back in touch with myself. And then I spent 12 days on a cruise, and I got really sick with like everything under the sun. And that was a sure sign to me that I was not meant to be on a cruise ship, and I needed to go back to be alone in nature. So I got off when the cruise ended. I got off the cruise and I went and spent like 5 days outside. I went back to Portugal. I was just feeling really called to be in Portugal. And so I went back to Portugal and I spent like 5 days.
Did you take a train there or did you fly?
I flew.
Okay.
Yeah, the train would have been just longer than I wanted to, and it was cheaper to fly actually.
It's like pretty far.
Yeah. So yeah, I flew from Portugal to Spain for the cruise and then back to Portugal for nature time. And I spent like 5 days on the coast, just outside Lisbon, in a another little small village called Trafaria, and it was next along the bay ocean to this really cute little beach town, Costa de Caparica. And I spent like every day just walking in nature and walking on the beach and just being quiet and alone. And I did a surf lesson and hung out in the rain and in the sun, and I climbed trees and was just like being wild in nature by myself. And then I went and spent a week on an olive farm, dog sitting in a eucalyptus forest. So the olive farm was in a eucalyptus forest, and I was dog sitting for this English guy who had to go back to England for a week to take care of his elderly mother. And I dog sat for him for that week, and another kind of again, just like alone in the forest with a wood stove and taking nature walks and intentionally crying and journaling and moving. And towards the end of that week, I was still open-ended. And towards the end of that week, I just felt like so much lighter and ready to come home and excited to come home and eager to jump into home life and home projects and
work
that I love and enjoy. Yeah, like work is a weird word that Jade and I talked a lot about, how like the word work doesn't actually feel like it reflects the way that we interact in the world and make money, because I love everything that I do. It doesn't like, yeah, it's hard work. There's labor involved, but it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah,
totally. I don't dread
I think we should
anything
let that
I
word
do.
go.
Yeah.
Let the word work go.
I'm trying to find a new word.
It's hard because you're like, well, what else does explain it?
Yeah, like labor tasks, even like, I don't know.
Just busy.
Yeah, but
busy.
even busy isn't the right word. I say I'm full. Like my life is very full.
Well, that's cool. That's a good way to put it. Full.
But
Full rot now.
yeah, we had a nice pre-recording snack.
I gotta get rolling. So.
Oh well, let's then. You want me to stop talking? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm just showing you what time it is. I have a showing to go show clients.
Yeah,
this
so
is a good segue.
Yeah, well, let me finish real quick.
Yeah.
I felt ready to come home, and now I'm home, and I'm loving being home, and I'm so excited for everything that I have in store for this year and the years to come. And Heather had a wonderful off season as well.
Yes, and I'm sorry to do that to you. I'm sorry.
Apologize to them.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry that I have a little bit of a time constraint. Me and Emily always pre-record in just a hangout session that we're just like procrastinating, getting our asses in front of the camera, which that's okay. Which is great for you because everybody's attention span is a little bit smaller, I feel like, so a little shorter is fine too. Anyway,
but tell us what you did in the off season real quick while this motorboat goes by.
I was being a badass real estate agent. Anyway, I did 3 houses.
You sold 3 houses.
I sold 3 houses,
Damn.
almost a 4th, but we terminated anyway. It feels, and I know I think I've talked about this in another episode, maybe, I don't know, maybe that was the one that we're not going to release, but like whatever. I feel so full circle with like accomplishing something that's, I needed to find a way to make money and find something that fit me. And I feel so aligned with selling real estate at this moment in time. It just is really, I like it. I like it. I like the reward. I like the people. I like the houses. I like the everything.
The puzzle of all of it.
I do. It is a very much, hold on a second.
The joys of being outside.
Woohoo! Somebody's on the river.
Yep.
Recreating.
We love river users.
We do. Oh, that was the sheriff. No?
No.
No. Okay, I thought it was.
No.
And yeah, so that's literally what I was working on while Emily was gone. Just working on the craft of, it's not really like I'm not really selling anything. I don't feel like I don't want it to feel like I'm selling people. I'm not selling anything.
They already want it.
They already want it. It's more of just like, this is about people and I'm about people. Therefore, I feel very aligned with this work because it's not really a house game, it's a people game. If you're taking care of your people and you're sitting in integrity while helping them find their home, and they're arguably one of the biggest financial decisions they'll make in their life, maybe they'll make a few, hopefully, but like, this is my calling. It feels so good.
It's so awesome.
To be in alignment of like helping people settle, being transparent with the process. I just had a meeting today with a girlfriend of mine. She's going to be putting her house on the market, and she was like, can you explain to me how this will work, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh my God. She had her house listed last year with, we call them discount brokers, but just like a broker that has their own brokerage and tries to do things on their own. I work for a big company, Remax. And she's like, oh my God,
You made it make sense?
I made it make sense to her. And that, I'm like, amazing, awesome. I'm so glad that you're feeling, she's like, I'm feeling so much better. Like that makes so much more sense, like how people do things and how that works and how repairs work. Because she needs a new roof on her house, and it's like, okay, how are we going to do that without her needing to go into a debt essentially? Well, there's equity in her house, and we can do that still. And she was just so grateful. She was just like, saw the light bulb moment happen with her, and I'm like, I'm so happy that I'm in this position to help you and uncover for you and make it make sense. And that's what I'm doing. I feel like I'm making it make sense to people while still learning and refining the trade of like negotiating and like trying to get people good deals and working with people. But I'm finding that there's a lot of agents that don't do that. That and just pull the wool.
You get to fill a niche
that
that isn't being filled.
And it just feels really good. So for me, it's about the people. And the reward of that obviously is a nice commission, but like it feels all really well-rounded.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it.
I love it.
So that's what I was working on, and I feel already very grateful. I'm almost 6 months in. And so 3 houses, 6 months, maybe like, well, it was going to be a 4th, but I'm still working with those clients and they're wonderful. And that's who I'm meeting in 7 minutes.
Oh,
or 6 minutes.
Well, all right.
But
I'm so proud of you. I think that
I'm proud of you. Look at all the work you've done.
You too.
This was a
Look
year.
at all the work we're doing.
Yay. Oh, this was a good year. And
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit
Yes.
really quick. I can
Okay.
be a
So
little late. They're my friends. I've literally made friends with strangers, and they're like, we exchanged presents for Christmas.
Cute.
We hang out. Like, they're
and
cool.
when you tell them, oh, sorry, I was recording my
they'll
first
be
podcast episode of the season, they'll be like, when does it come out? When do we get
yes,
to see
they
it?
will. They will.
Come here. So we're getting real excited for this season. In our reflections, we found that in this evolution of the podcast, like we've said, we are really rooted here in Southern Oregon, and our lives are full and busy here. And while we have connections to incredible people throughout the region and the state and the country, we are finding that overwhelmingly the stories that exist already here in the people in Southern Oregon are enough and are amazing and profound, and we love this place, and there are so many stories about why people are here, why they choose to live here, why their lives brought them here, that are worth telling. So this season is really going to be focused on the stories of Southern Oregon and the stories of the people who eat, sleep, breathe, live in the outdoors in Southern Oregon.
Yeah, so I want to also add that we're just adding a layer. We're going to be talking about all those profound moments in the outdoors that change people, still uncovering that thread from childhood to what they do now, but also adding in that layer of Southern Oregon now and asking some questions around that. Why do you stay here? What do you love here? You know, what is it about this place?
Mm-hmm. What brought you here, and why do you choose to stay here?
Right.
Right. Having grown up here, there's often been this like story about the area that the nature is beautiful, but the people aren't. And we're here to say, no. The nature is beautiful, and the people absolutely are.
Yes.
There are some of the most amazing, interesting, beautiful people who live here that we get to call our friends and our neighbors and our community members. And not only are we going to tell their story, but we're going to be telling the stories of Southern Oregon.
Still in the outdoors, still revolving around outdoor
everything.
Just now an added layer of staying here, because our original goal was to like broaden the horizon and like try to do some trips to Bend to link up with people, or more just centralized area. But now we're finding we're just going to hone it into here. We'll see where the path takes us, where Gab wants us to go next. But yeah, focusing in here. So just adding that extra layer. Emily had that epiphany last night and this morning, and she brought it to me, or she's mentioned it, and I was like, yes.
Yeah.
And it's great.
It
and
just
I love
makes so much
So
sense.
that's what you have to look forward to. Just more like, I don't know, just more layers. More layers. Still the all wildly us.
Yeah. And because we're going to continue to grow, because this is just a baby, every season will bring some new epiphany and some new lesson, and it'll always be the same thread. But
I think we'll probably have another off season next winter too.
Yeah.
Because Emily has a pretty strict summer schedule.
And then I usually need a break in the winter to.
Maybe an up and coming like hiking club thing to be on the horizon if you want to like hike with us in the mornings. Me and Emily, or just maybe Emily or just me or whatever. We're gonna explore those ideas of just more community building around the podcast too.
We want to say to follow us on all of our social media for updates, but most likely most of the updates will come in the episodes. So like, follow, share, subscribe, get your friends listening. If you know people in Southern Oregon, if you don't live in Southern Oregon and you know people in Southern Oregon who would make great guests and great listeners, please send them our way.
Also, I'd like to ask, like, if you know any small business owners that you think are aligned with this mission, we are going to be...
we are open for sponsors.
We're going to be fishing around for our next, how to like monetize this a little bit and work on that whole realm of project and business around the podcast as well. So if there's anybody that has any niche gadget, outdoor service or outdoor gear, or anything that you think would be paired, no alcohol, we are down. You're welcome. I don't really drink either, so it's not a big deal. But we're looking for those people that really align, that want to do some sort of a sponsorship, and we have a bunch of ideas for that. So it doesn't just have to be like a big monetary lump sum or anything like that, even though that would be such a blessing. It would be more of just what we could collaborate on.
Yeah, right now we've done all of this just out of our own time and money and free will, and we really would like to make this be financially sustainable so that this can be at least my full-time job, and help pay the bills.
And I think we do have a goal also of like maybe starting a Patreon with some added stuff, maybe like even deeper discount codes,
deeper dives and stories and behind the scenes. And so tell us what you'd be interested in, what would engage you further and
if
keep
you have any ideas,
around.
we're down.
Yeah,
we love ideas.
Yeah.
But I think the number one thing, just like you trying to find a long-term Airbnb guest, or an intermediate to fill midterm,
put it out there.
You got to put it out there. So we're looking for sponsors, and we are. So just let us know if you have any ideas around that for us. We're open. And there's the kitty.
And
coming
now
to greet.
We're gonna say, I'm Emily,
and I'm Heather,
and together we're
Go Wildly. Woohoo! We did it. Okay, and I got it. Love you.
I love you. That's a wrap on this episode of Go Wildly. From the bottom of our backpacks, thank you for listening. We know you enjoyed the show, so tap follow, tell a friend or two, and leave a quick review if you can. It makes a real difference. Your support allows Go Wildly to reach new listeners and bring more outdoor stories to the mic. Until next time, go wildly and go outside.